met you in Sweden in the Ängsbacka festival last summer.
Oh, nice.
And you said there, you mentioned at one big transformation type when you had a car accident on the highway, a big truck drove over your car.
Yeah.
And then in your homepage, there is mentioned when you was eating fried banana with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
There was something, I don't know. So obviously there was two transformation in your life. You mentioned how
No,
you
there
may
was
have
many. The barley one was the biggest one, though, the eating the banana fritters. The car accident was a smaller one.
Okay. I have
But also, I don't think I don't know if I mentioned that car one in the talk, but on the internet there's loads of weird stuff. Once I wrote this joke biography, and then people used it like it was a joke. Like I wrote about like this girl that had a lighting experience, like I was just making fun, and then people took it seriously, and now it's on there. So so there's lots of different stuff on the internet. Like I think you can apply to have things taken down, but I can't be bothered.
Okay. My questions comes from all your awakening happenings, we can call it.
Yeah.
One teacher said that for some reason the consciousness decides to be conscious about itself,
Yeah.
and that is awakening. One other teacher say it's a recognition. You recognize something, and use that. We can say that point where the consciousness decides to be conscious about oneself, conscious, but decides to be conscious about the consciousness.
Yeah.
I want to try, I mean, probably I cannot understand, but can you say something about that happening when the consciousness decides to be conscious about itself?
Yeah. I mean, like everyone speaks about it in different ways because there is no way to speak about it. And I've most probably spoken all of those things that you've just said now because there isn't, it's not like a fixed thing, this, and you could express it in so many different ways. But consciousness actually doesn't decide to recognize itself. It just does it. Like consciousness doesn't have free will like we imagine that. Like we personify consciousness and we make it human and we think it's got a human brain and it chooses like we imagine. But it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't choose to wake up to itself. It just kind of creates that, just like it created everything else. And we don't really know how that's working or why that's working, or it's beyond anything that we can interpret. We know that there is this energy in life that is creating everything, and we can never see it in this life. We can never step out of this dream and look and see what consciousness is, or look and see what the creator is. It's this intelligence that's beyond our comprehension of intelligence. I mean, you don't even, calling it intelligence maybe is like simplifying it way too much. And we never can look at what it is and why it's doing things. The feeling of it, so consciousness feels completely indifferent to everything in life. Like difference and care and motivation all comes in the human world. Whereas the creator feels like it's just experiencing and it's creating, and it's way beyond anything we can possibly think of. Like I can't say that it's a human sitting there creating and thinking about it or not, or like it's beyond anything in this world. It's not like choice or no choice to create. Can you still hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, yes.
Yeah. Why is that important for you? Like where's the motivation for that question coming from?
Yeah, of course, when I asked you, probably there was something in me could find a trick, how to trick the consciousness to decide to be conscious about itself.
Yeah. Do you know what the funny thing is you don't really want that on the human level. What you want on the human level is just to have a more peaceful life.
Ah, yes.
And to be more happy. you don't actually want that because it's absolute destruction of the person. So to disappear into pure consciousness or to your pure essence is total loss of the person. And that's not actually what you want. In some ways you could say you want it, like there's a craving for oneness deep inside of you somewhere, like a craving to go home and just to be at home. But really also that personality that thinks that it wants to get to consciousness is actually conning you, because it's telling this story, but it's just like a new idea, like the idea of money or the idea of anything in this life. Like it's an idea, and you hope by doing that and by manifesting that you'll become more peaceful. And that's it's seeing that for what it is. It's seeing that these thoughts and feelings come up and they con you. And there's nothing wrong with that. And who are they even conning? Because the idea that there's even somewhere that could be conned, it's just a con is happening. And just recognizing it for what it is, and that settles down the person. Like when it's seen, the games, and when they're felt, so you feel it in the body as well, that wants to get to something else, that longing, like it settles them down and the person becomes more relaxed and will become more happy. Like it's all these lies and illusion that actually make you unhappy. Like this is the biggest one, is an illusion that all humans are caught in, is the idea that time will equal freedom.
I had some kind of transformation, awakening, a little one for a few years ago, and the only thing that happened, something deep inside me relaxed, a very deep level. The person there inside searching for enlightenment, the energy to drive me to enlightenment relaxed. That's what I can say. I didn't get any bliss like you mentioned here before. You get bliss and all that. I only get relaxation on a very, very deep level. And but there is definitely more left of me who is the driving energy to want enlightenment. There is so. But when that happened a few years ago, I got a hope. Oh, now it will be an accelerated process of deeper, and less identification of my mind and body and ego, all that. But it has not gone like I was hoping. It's still, I'm still happy for that transformation, but still the desire is to go faster, and the question is why have not much more happened since these few years, and so that's why I ask you. You obviously have several one of transformation or recognition, awakenings. So, and of course, I guess for you, every one of them happened as a surprise for you. I didn't think you was expecting it to happen or preparing it to happen.
Well, I did. I was a big seeker, throughout my 20s. I was completely fixated on it. And I would just say, like, just recognize that voice and just recognize that story that's wanting to get to this place and wanting bigger transformation, and just notice it. And it's, even though it's a part of your mind that's noticing it, so it's two fractions of a mind, like one is doing it and then another part is noticing it. It just relaxes that noticing relaxes that habit, because what happens sometimes is that these thoughts and feelings come up and then they take us as truth. They feel truth. It feels true that you haven't progressed or that you need to progress more, and we believe and we get totally involved in that belief system.
Yes, it has been a few times after that I was on a satsang and there was a relaxation. I could see this energy in my once enlightenment that relaxed. So it has. So there is still a bit hope in me, but the big one, I'm waiting for the big one.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Sweden.
Are you from Sweden? Oh, yes, you said, nice.
Yeah, anyway, I thank you. I got some answers. So it's only for me to observe the energy, the desire to go for enlightenment and see it's there. And by the time, I guess, there will be a new transformation, awakening, and it will relax more and more and more, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at some point it will change. That's a guaranteed for life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
nice. Thank you very much for calling. Bye.